Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin. We've actually moved up right into this little zone we were talking about yesterday, this 50%, this 17 to 90 area that we're looking at, and also we've actually hit this top trend line again that we were also talking about. So we need to talk about a few things here and sort of see where we're going to be going from this point. There are a few options, so we're going to go over all of those within the video, so stay tuned if you'd want to know more about those. Okay, before we jump into that though, I'd just like to say thank you for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, and also leave us some feedback down below. Okay, so basically what we were talking about is this being a wave 2. So if we do move up again here in another leg, which we'll go over shortly, sort of the target area I'd be looking at is the 17,538. That would be a 0.618 because we've already come up to this 50%. So this 50% is of this move to the downside here. That's this 50%, this 17,290. So technically we've sort of met the common requirement for wave 2 or B wave, but it is possible we still have a little bit more upside here to go. So we're going to talk about that. So there's a couple of ways of looking at this, and what we'd be looking at this is as a three-wave move from this low point here, looking at this as basically an A, a B. Oh, that's the wrong one. Basically, let's try that again. An A, a B, and then a C wave to the upside. So that would be an ABC correction. So we can see we've actually come in between this 1236 and this 1382. So it is possible we could actually start to break down from this point. So we need to just keep an eye on it and see how it reacts. It is also, however, possible that we still have some other structures within here. So we're going to go over those shortly. So if we do push up, basically this C wave, we wouldn't want to come past this 1.618 zone. That would be sort of a maximum range. We'd want this to stay below. Otherwise, effectively what we then have is a bigger 5-wave move like this. So we're going to go over all these options. So if we I'm going to turn this off for a second. Let's turn that off. Let's turn on the 5-wave. So there's two ways of looking at this move. And basically this way is looking at it so that it is just a basically, this would just be a 5-wave move, and what we'd be looking for is a 1, 2. This up into here is a 3. This is a 4th. This wave 4 doesn't cross this wave 1, so it doesn't validate anything there. And then basically, we'd be looking for potentially having extension within this 5th wave. So the way we'd be then looking at that potentially is that this is a 1, 2. This is a 3, and then we'd be looking for this as a 4th. Now the problem with this is, if we're looking at it in this manner, this wave 3 didn't cross. Oh no, it has crossed it now. Okay, so that's fine. So it wasn't crossed last time I checked it. So effectively what we could have here is that this is a wave 3 up into this zone here, and then we'd be forming this as a wave 4. The problem with this is this wave 4 can't cross this wave 1 if this is correct, because if it does that, then effectively we have either a diagonal or a different structure here where this is just an ABC. So it is possible that so we can't cross down past this 17,041. If we move past the 1741 zone, effectively this would invalidate this count like this, and we would have to either look at the potential that we have completed within here as a 5th, and then we could be looking to break to the downside. However, should we stay above this zone here, it is possible that we could have this, because this does look like a 5-wave move here. And if I throw this this fib retracement on from this zone, you can see we've actually come down to sort of where we would want to add it as a maximum with this as a 4th wave. The problem is it looks like a 5-wave move. So we'd have to expect an additional 5-wave move down here. So if we manage to push up high enough that this sort of comes back into the same zone, then it would be fine. But if we move down past the 17,041, that would actually invalidate it. So if we are going to look for basically an A, a B, and a C wave to the downside, then it's possible we could actually look to stay above this wave 1. though it is also possible that we have another structure within this. So if we come down this low, we'd have to be careful that we aren't setting up another 1-2. The area that we would potentially look for rejection if we're going to move to the upside from this low point would be somewhere around this 1730 zone to this 17262 area. So the 17262 sits quite nicely on these previous resistance points that we found over here. So it is possible that we could see this as an A, move down as a B, and then push up for the C wave, potentially looking to target up this 50% to this 0.618 maybe. Somewhere within that range would sort of be where I was looking at. However, it is also possible we are starting to break down. So we just need to bear that in mind. So if we do see a move up to those zones, basically what we could be looking at, if I throw this onto here, let's go up to that 50%. So 1-to-1 would actually invalidate this off the 0.5. So in order for this to still be valid, we'd have to move up at least to the 786. The 702 wouldn't quite do it. So the 786 is that 17340 area. However, there is also the possibility we just start to break down from here, so we need to bear that in mind. So this is basically looking for this in a normal 5-wave move, and after this, effectively what we'd be looking for is that this would be a completed C wave, and then we'd look to break down. So we need to bear everything in mind when we're looking at these. And if I turn this off now, effectively, let me remove that. What we also need to bear in mind is there is a potential for a bigger structure here as a 5-wave move. And the way that we can look at this is that effectively we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for a diagonal for 1. And then we could be looking at the additional 1, 2, and then looking to push up towards this 17503 to this for this teal wave 3 that we have marked out here. So the thing is, currently this structure wouldn't suggest that we're going to be pushing up into that zone, unless there's something that we're missing here. So because this is a 5-wave move, it's either an A wave, or we could argue that there's some kind of a flat correction in this, where this is a B, and then this is a C. So if that's the case, we could look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 to the upside here, or potentially a 1, 2, 3, 4. The problem is if we look at it as a 1, 2, then this basically is really out of proportion with this wave 2. So I don't really like it, to be honest with you. But if we do actually push up higher to the 17503 zone, then what I'd be looking at is the potential that we have this teal count playing out. And then that would effectively look to push us up higher within this range. And if we do manage to push up past the 17782, effectively what we would have is a bigger 5-wave move here, where this is a wave 1, 2. All of this would then become wave 3, and then move into the 17782 zone, and then look for that progression to the upside. So we need to give it a bit of time, because there are some other things that can happen from here. So basically, if we were looking at this option, and we're looking for this 3rd wave here, with the depth of this, like I said, it is possible we start to break down. So it is possible also to count this as a 1, 2, and then this could be a 1 and a 2. Though this is a really bullish scenario, so we'd have to give it a little bit of time to play out, and not sort of jump the gun too early, because otherwise we can end up looking at things that haven't fully completed. So basically within this, what we'd be looking for is we could look at the potential that if this is a 1 and a 2 again, sort of the zone we would be looking for support is anywhere between this 50% to the 786. So if we do actually come up here and we have this as basically a another 1, 2 within this zone, what we'd be looking for is that support within this zone before looking to push to the upside. So that, like I said, that zone's between the 17156 to this 17 and 18. So it's 17,018 area. Sorry, I need more coffee this morning. So basically what we were talking about previously, if we get this as an A wave to the downside, a B wave to the upside, and then that C wave to the downside again, that would indicate that we could potentially look for this where we form this as an additional 1-2 within this move. So we need to just bear in mind there is potential that we have some extension playing out here, and if that is the case, if we had to retrace, I'm just gonna have a look at this. If we had to retrace down to, say, this let's go down to the 786, test these previous high points here, then we could be looking for an additional push to the upside. So that push to the upside could potentially take us up as far as, if we were looking at this as a 5-wave move, this 17,814 as a third wave, and then looking for a fourth and a fifth. Though there's nothing confirmed yet, and basically what we have to be careful of is, because this can be counted as a 5-wave move to the downside here, it is also possible that we have completed where this wave 1 is, and basically this could actually be the start of a move to the downside. So with this, like I said, that area that I'd be looking out for rejection would be between this 17,262 up to this sort of 17,340 area. Basically, if we start to move above this, it's more likely that we're going to set another high within here. It is possible we can move up here, retest this channel again, and then look for that rejection to the downside. So if we do that, that would come sort of towards this 0.618 potentially over here. That ties in quite nicely. So what we would be looking out for, if that's the case, if we did have to move up back to the 618 zone, we'd have to be careful of breaking down and taking these lows out. The 16,000, actually it's over there. So the 16,907 zone. If we break down below that and basically reach this 1.618, what we could then be having is, we could look at this as a deeper move here, where we get this as a 1, 2, all of this as a third wave. We've looked for that fourth wave bounce, and then we break through this. We look to break through this this trend line here. It is also possible we find support here, and then we could look for this to develop in some kind of other structure. But for the most part, this is what I'm tracking at the moment. I think that either we've completed here, or we've got this fifth wave to come in here, and depending on how high it goes, if it does progress to the upside here, and whether we can manage to stay below this 17,041 area, will sort of indicate which option we're playing, out. If we if we cross below this high, we can potentially still find support above this zone here of the 16,907, and if that's the case, then we could still look for that additional bullish option there. But we also need to be aware that we could start to break down from here, where we look at this as a 1, we come back for a 2, and then we start to break down. So we'll keep you up to date with the moves as we see them happen. And yeah, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below. Okay, everyone, I hope you have a great day, and until we see each other in the next video, take care out there.